here a couple weeks. Let's get you all muted. So yeah, welcome. If you want to grab any sort of blocks or what we use in a yoga class, but you don't need blocks, if you have books or pillows or just something that might help you throughout the class, I might make suggestions on ways to use those things. If you don't have them, not a problem. It's not necessary at all. So let's go ahead and get started. Lying down on your back. So go ahead and find a comfortable place on your back. And as always, you guys know by now, I like to start my classes with everyone lying down in Shavasana. So I think it's a really nice way to kind of come full circle where you're starting class and ending class in the same shape. And the reason for that is it kind of gives you the opportunity to sort of compare the two. So take a little inventory right now. See how you're feeling. See what's going on in your body physically, starting to notice what feels good, what might not feel good. Maybe that means making a little adjustment, changing the position of your arms or your legs. And then starting to turn that focus inward, paying attention to the thoughts that you're experiencing. Maybe your mind is racing a little bit. Maybe you were working from home today and you just got done. Maybe you've been busy doing things around the house. And so when we are doing everything at home, it becomes a little harder to transition from one activity to the other because there's no getting in your car and going to your yoga class or something like that. You're just home. So take these few moments here on your mat to physically transition, turning off whatever it was you were doing before you came to your mat and really tuning into right now. And then we'll do this again at the end of class and you can kind of compare the two, see how you're feeling after your practice versus when you first came to your mat. So before we start to move a little bit, I invite you to bring your awareness to your breath, starting to deepen the breath as it comes in, maybe counting to 4, a nice slow count of 4 as you inhale. And then same thing as you exhale, counting to 4. So really allowing that breath to fill up the lungs, the chest, the stomach, expanding as you inhale. And then as you exhale, letting it all go. Taking a couple more breaths just like this. While you take those few more breaths in this stillness, set an intention for your practice. Something that you want to create here on your mat, or maybe something that you're trying to send out to someone else. So that could be healing. We could use some healing for everyone right now. That could be love, patience, peace, whatever resonates with you, balance, kindness, I don't know. You know what you need. So think about something that you need or someone else needs. Let that be your intention as you move through your practice here today. Taking one last breath in this stillness, and then beginning to make your way into a full body stretch on your next inhale. So the arms are going to reach behind the head, the fingers are going to wiggle, the toes are going to wiggle. You can roll the ankles and the wrists. Take a nice deep stretch, kind of like you're getting out of bed in the morning. And then as you exhale, start to draw the right knee in towards you, wrapping your arms around the shin. Hug that knee in towards the body, almost like you're trying to bring your knee towards your shoulder. Hug it in nice and tight. Maybe a little movement if that feels good, making circles or rocking side to side. And then starting to find a twist by bringing the right knee over to the left side of the body, pressing the right shoulder down towards the mat. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, relax through the shoulder, through the knee, maybe turning your head to the right so that you're looking in the opposite direction of your knee. And then on the next inhale, starting to draw that knee back through center, we're gonna bend the knee. This time, lift your foot up, kind of like your foot is trying to step on the ceiling. So your hands can either be behind that right thigh or maybe on the bottom of the foot if that's accessible. But you're working on kind of drawing that right knee towards the ground, flexing through the right foot. And then gently extending the right leg all the way up towards the ceiling, bringing your hands behind the thigh. Go ahead and massage the back of the leg, roll out the ankle, maybe a little bend and straighten in the knee if that feels good. Just doing whatever helps that right leg start to warm up a little bit. And then gently beginning to draw the right foot all the way back down onto the mat. Hug the left knee in towards the body, interlacing your arms around the shin. Start to draw the left knee towards the shoulder, so squeezing it in nice and tight. And then again, circles or side to side, whatever feels good for that hip. And then we'll take it into a twist. The left leg comes over to the right side of the body. The left shoulder presses down towards the mat. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, soften through the whole back of the body. You can turn so that the left ear is coming towards the mat. So the left knee probably isn't touching the ground. My knee is not touching the ground. My shoulder is barely touching the ground. That's okay. You're just working on relaxing so that both are coming towards the ground. And then slowly bringing that left knee back through center. Let's bend that knee, press the foot back up towards the ceiling. So kind of like you're trying to make a 90-degree angle with that left knee, drawing the knee towards the mat, flexing through the bottom of the left foot. And then gently extending the left leg up towards the sky. Bringing the hands behind the thigh as you massage the calf, the back of the leg, roll out the ankle, bend and straighten the knee. So you do what feels good for you. This is what feels good for me right now. Whatever feels good for the back of your left leg, go ahead and do that. And then gently placing the left foot down next to the right. We're going to draw both knees in towards the body. Bring your hands behind your thighs. As you tuck your chin into your chest, start to roll along the back of the body a couple times until you make your way all the way up to a seated position. Crossing your legs once you find that seated position. As always, if it feels better to sit on a blanket or grab a pillow, go ahead and sit on something to kind of elevate the hips a little bit. Bring your hands to your knees, take a deep breath in as you sit up really nice and tall. See if you can let those shoulders roll back a little bit. And then start to make circles with the upper body, bringing the chest forward and around, circling through the torso. Just moving in a way that feels good. Going back in the other direction. And then starting to make your way back up through center, sitting up nice and tall one more time. Let the chin release down so the spine is long. You're looking at the mat in front of you. And then just gently beginning to roll your head all the way around. Making circles or side to side movement. Allowing some of that tension and tightness in the neck to dissolve with the movement. Sending your breath to any areas that feel a little tight. Going back in the other direction if you haven't already. And then starting to make your way back through center. Sit up nice and tall. Take a breath in as you roll the shoulders forwards and up. As you exhale, let them release down the back. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, draw the shoulders up towards the ears. Create some tension, some tightness. And then as you exhale, release that tension. One last time, draw the shoulders up. Hold it for a breath. And then as you exhale, really loud, let it go. Good. On the next breath in, reach the arms overhead. As you exhale, the left fingertips are coming to the mat. The right fingertips are reaching to the side walls. So you're stretching through the whole right side of the body, pressing the hips down, taking your gaze under the right arm, lengthening through the right side of the body. See if you can reach the fingertips a little further, get a little longer. And then inhale for space, for length, get taller as you inhale. Exhale takes it over to the other side. So the right hand comes to the mat, the left fingertips get long. Looking under that left arm. Roll the shoulder open and back a little bit. And then again, inhale as you lift it up. This time as you exhale, walk the hands away from the body, folding forward. Take a breath in, creating some length in the back of the body, maybe sitting up a little bit on the inhale. And then on the exhale, see if you can fold just a little bit further. Letting the head become heavy as it hangs between the shoulders. Visualizing the neck and the back and the shoulders and any tension that might be there. See if you can imagine that breath going right to that spot. And as you exhale, that tension dissolves just a little bit, so that you're able to come a little further than you were when you first came into this pose. Slowly starting to walk the hands back towards the body as you make your way back up to a seated position. Bring the soles of your feet together, coming into a butterfly. The hands interlace under the feet. As you inhale, sit up nice and tall. As you exhale, start to fold forward, pressing the elbows into the shins, drawing the chest towards the feet. And rather than like curling the back a lot and trying to bring your head to the feet, think about the chest coming towards the feet. So your spine is still long. On the next inhale, slowly lifting back up, extend both legs long, coming to a wide-legged seated position. So flexing through the bottoms of the feet a lot. That really engages the backs of the legs. Interlace your hands, and we're gonna make that little spinning motion one more time. So start to circle the upper body. Taking a couple circles in one direction and going back in the other direction. Still getting that nice stretch in the backs of the legs. The next time you inhale, lift it all the way up. You can bring your hands to the backs of your legs or the sides of your legs. Just kind of press the legs together a little bit. Tap out the backs of your legs. And then the left foot is going to come to the right inner thigh. Flex through that right foot. Take a breath in as you reach the arms up. As you exhale, fold over that right leg. Hands can come to the shin, to the foot, wherever it feels comfortable. And then same thing as we did when that leg was lifted in the air. If it feels good, to bend the knee a little bit or kind of massage the back of the leg. Still focusing on that breath. Each time you inhale, you're lengthening through the back of the body. Each time you exhale, you're folding a little further. On the next breath, we're gonna lift up, bring the left hand behind you. So the left hand is coming to the ground. Press up through the hips, reach the right hand back. So we're lengthening through the whole right side of the body. As you exhale, you're gonna come back down, and we're gonna do that 2 more times with your breath. So finding a nice little flow. As you inhale, left hand comes down, press the hips up, reach the arm. As you exhale, find that fold. And one last time, inhale, lifts it up, press the hips, lengthen to the right side of the body. And then as you exhale, fold it forward over that right leg. And then on the next inhale, start to lift it all the way back up. We're gonna take the left foot, place it on the outside of the right knee. So you're crossing your left foot over the right leg. If it feels comfortable, bend the right knee. If this doesn't feel comfortable sitting like this, keep the right leg straight, your choice. Left hand comes to the side of the body. As you inhale, start to lift up through the right arm. As you exhale, twist to the left. So hooking the right elbow on the left knee. See if you can sit up a little taller. Take a breath in. As you exhale, see if you can twist a little further. So you're looking towards that left shoulder. And on the next inhale, slowly coming back through center. And then extend both legs, shake them out. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So the right foot is coming into the left inner thigh. Flex through the left toes. Take a breath in as you lift up. As you exhale, fold forward. Bend in the back of that leg if that feels good. Hands can come to the shin, to the foot. Take a breath in as you lengthen through the back of the body, and as you exhale, fold. And then we'll start to find that movement. On the next inhale, the right hand is going to come to the mat behind you. Press the hips up. Reach the left fingertips to the back of the room as you stretch the whole left side of the body. As you exhale, fold over that left leg. 2 more times with your breath, so you don't have to follow me. As you inhale, right hand comes down, lengthen to the left side of the body. Exhale, fold. And one last time as you inhale, lift it up, get long on the left side. And exhale, let it go. Find that fold one more time. The next inhale starts to lift you all the way back up. The right foot comes to the outside of the left knee. Same option, you can bend that left leg or keep it straight. Right hand comes to the side of the body, and as you inhale, lift the left arm up. As you exhale, twist to the right, hooking the elbow on the outside of the knee. Take a breath in, sit up a little taller. Exhale as you twist a little further. And then slowly coming back through center. Extend both legs long again, shake them out, and make your way into your tabletop position. So go ahead and come onto your hands and knees. Starting off with a nice flat back. So your wrists are below your shoulders, your knees are below your ankle, or if your knees are below your hips, your back is nice and flat. On the next inhale, release the stomach down, take the gaze up. Make a nice arch in the back. As you exhale, round the back, press the ground away. Find that angry cat back. And then go ahead and move here with your breath. Inhale, release the stomach down, take the gaze up. Exhale, press the ground away. Adding on anything that feels good. Hips can rock from side to side. You can press back to a child's pose. You can shake your head yes or no. Just kind of move here a little bit with the breath. Work on finding that connection with the breath and movement. Taking a couple more rounds. And then slowly starting to make your way back through that neutral spine, taking the right foot behind you, keeping the right foot on the mat, tucking through the toes, start to press yourself forwards and backwards, stretching out the bottom of that right foot. Back of the leg, bottom of the foot, give it all a nice little stretch. And then coming back through center, lift the right leg up, point the toes towards the back of the room or the back of your mat. On the next inhale, draw the right knee in towards the nose, round the back. As you exhale, extend the knee long. We're gonna do that 2 more times. Inhale, draw the knee to the nose, round the back. Exhale, extend the leg long. And one more time, draw the knee in towards you, give that knee a little kiss. Exhale, send it long. Keep that right foot lifted. Keep drawing the core or the belly button up towards your spine. We're gonna take the left foot off your mat, so kind of slide that left foot over to the left side. Bring the right foot down. Bring the right hand to the front of the mat. So you're reaching the right hand towards the top of your mat, stretching through the whole right side of your body for a modified side plank. So pressing the hips up. Take your gaze under that right arm. And then start to make giant circles with that right arm. So as big as your arm allows, or as much as it feels comfortable, move that arm, get into that shoulder. Take a couple circles in one direction, and then going back the other way. And then slowly starting to close it off as you bring the right hand down to the mat, the right knee comes back to meet the left. Take that left leg, extend it long, tuck the toes. Start to press yourself forwards and backwards, stretching out the bottom of the foot and the back of the leg. You might hear a little crack in your ankle or your toes. Hopefully that feels good. And then gently lifting the left leg up, point the toes towards the back of the room. As you inhale, draw the left knee towards your nose, give that knee a kiss. Exhale, send it back. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, draw knee to nose. Exhale, send it back. And last time with your breath, inhale, the knee comes forward. Exhale, send it back. Right foot is gonna slide off the mat this time, so the right toes kind of come off the edge of the mat. Left foot can ground down. Left fingertips reach to the top of your mat. So side plank on the left side now, lengthening through the whole left side of the body. Press those hips up, and then start to make those giant circles with the left shoulder, the left arm. And then going back in the opposite direction. And then slowly starting to close it off, coming back to your tabletop position, hands and knees come back to the mat. Let's find our first downward facing dog. So tucking your toes, straightening your legs, starting to send those hips up and back. Take a couple breaths here as you settle in. So whatever helps you start to find a comfortable space in your down dog, do that. Whether that's lifting one foot up off the mat at a time, pressing it back down, maybe bending and straightening the knees, rock the hips from side to side, shake your head out a little bit, just starting to kind of settle in here. The hips are the highest part of the body, so you're pressing your hips up towards the back, like corner of the room or the ceiling behind you. On the next inhale, like a wave, let's roll it forward out into a plank position, checking your alignment here, noticing if you need to adjust at all. If you do, that's okay. Tailbone is tucked under, belly button is sucking up towards the spine. Exhale, sends it back to your downward facing dog. And we'll do that 2 more times, like a wave. Inhale, roll it out. Exhale with your breath, send it back. And one last time, inhale, find your plank. Exhale, back to your downward facing dog. Good. Take your gaze towards your hands. Start to walk your feet towards the top of the mat, coming to a forward fold at the top of your mat. Once you get there, we're gonna take a halfway lift by bringing your hands to your shins. Inhale to a flat back. So you're kind of like a 90-degree angle or an L shape with your body. As you exhale, fold. On the next inhale, lift it all the way up, coming to standing, reaching the arms overhead, maybe a little back bend if that feels comfortable. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. We're gonna move through that little flow 2 more times. So on the next inhale, the arms are gonna lift back up. As you exhale, dive it down. Inhale, find that halfway lift again. Flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lifts it all the way up. Reach the arms overhead, maybe a little back bend. Exhale, hands come to heart center. One last time, just like that. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through the back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lifts it all the way up, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Good. We're gonna take our arms back up. So on the next inhale, reach your arms over your head again. You're gonna interlace your hands, keep your pointer fingers, interlace your fingers, keep your pointer fingers reaching up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in. As you exhale, lean over to the left side. So you're stretching through the whole right side of your body. Press the hips to the right. Try to keep the arms as straight as you can, so you're not like bending that left elbow. Keep it straight. Looking under that right arm towards the ceiling. On the next inhale, take it back up, relax the shoulders, get a little taller. As you exhale over to the opposite side. Lengthening through the left side of the body, roll that left shoulder open as you look under the left arm. Remembering to breathe here. And then on the next inhale, lift it back up through center. As you exhale, find that forward fold again, coming all the way back down. Take a breath to create some space, maybe a little halfway lift. As you exhale, step it back to your downward facing dog. So go ahead and walk the feet back to the back of your mat. On the next inhale, we're gonna lift the right leg, 3-legged dog. Point the toes towards the back of the room. And then bending your knee so that you're bringing your heel towards your body. Your knee is the highest part of you. You're pressing your knee towards the ceiling. And then as you look forward, you're gonna place the right foot in between your hands. So you're kind of drawing that right knee forward and then step it down in between your hands. If you need to use your hand to get it there, that's okay. Left knee is gonna come down, untuck the left toes. As you exhale, straighten the right leg and start to fold over that right leg. The hips are pressing back. This is a great pose to have those books or pillows or something to hold on to if you need the ground a little higher. On the next inhale, you're gonna rebend that right knee, press the hips down, lift up through the upper body. So Think about opening up the chest, the heart. Take your gaze up towards the ceiling. And then again, exhale, send it back. We're gonna move here a couple times with our breath. So really getting into the hips. Moving in a way that feels good for you. So that can mean taking a couple breaths in one shape, not necessarily moving back and forth. It could just be, ooh, this feels really good. I'm gonna stay here. Do that. Listen to your body. If the movement feels good, then go ahead and take a couple more rounds like this. Using that breath to kind of create a little more space in the hips. The next time you come forward, press those hips down, bend that front knee, find your Anjaneyasana, crescent moon. So hands can either come to the front knee as you press the upper body up, or maybe your hands reach all the way up towards the ceiling. See what feels good for you. Either way, you can take your gaze up. And then go ahead and bring your hands back to frame out the front foot. You're gonna tuck your left toes, straighten that back leg, and then the left foot is gonna step up halfway. So kind of to the center of your mat, your feet are probably 2 or 3 feet apart. Take a breath in for space, lengthening through the back of the body. And then as you exhale, fold over that right leg. Parsvottanasana, or pyramid pose. That right knee can still be bent a little bit. My knee has a little bend in it. That's fine. Your hands can be on those blocks if that helps. And then you're just gonna breathe here for a couple of breaths, creating space in the back of the body each time you inhale. And then when you exhale, folding a little deeper, drawing the nose towards the knee. From here, we're gonna find a little balance, a warrior 3. So your weight is gonna start to come into the right foot. Your hands can either stay on the mat right where they are. Well, actually, let's all keep our hands on the mat for now. You're gonna start to lift the left foot up a little bit. Maybe you just play around with lifting the toes just off the mat an inch or two. Eventually, that left foot is gonna be parallel to the ground. So flexing through the left foot, press the heel towards the back of the wall. Now here's your option to lift the hands if you want. If this feels good, stay here in your supported warrior 3. If you want to play around with lifting the hands, maybe you bring one hand to heart center. Maybe you bring both. Maybe you bring none. So see what feels good for you. Play around for a breath or two. And then we'll all find a forward fold by bringing that left foot down to meet the right. Take that halfway lift, flattening the back as you inhale. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, lifts it all the way back up. Reach the arms overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. As you exhale, we'll fold it right back down, finding your forward fold. Inhale halfway. As you exhale, step it back to your downward facing dog. So the feet walk to the back of the mat. On the next breath, the left leg is gonna lift. Point the toes towards the back of the room. Find your 3-legged dog. And then bend that knee, open up the hip. So draw the heel towards the body. Press the knee up towards the ceiling. And then as you look forward, you're gonna go ahead and step that left foot in between your hands. Right knee comes down, untuck the toes. As you exhale, straighten through the left leg and fold. On the next inhale, bend the knee, press the hips down, start to lift up through the upper body, take the gaze up towards the ceiling. And then we're gonna go ahead and find that little flow again. Exhale, send it back. Inhale, come forward. Take a couple rounds just like this, pausing in any spot that feels good for you. And then the next time you come forward, find that Anjaneyasana, the crescent moon pose. So your hands can come to the knee, lifting up through the upper body. Maybe you reach your hands up towards the ceiling, relax the shoulders, take the gaze up towards the hands. And then slowly bringing your hands back to frame out that front foot. Tuck the back toes, straighten that right leg. Step the right foot up halfway, just like we did on the other side. So about 2 or 3 feet apart. Take a breath, lengthening through the back of the body. As you exhale, start to fold over that left leg this time. Same thing, a little bend in that left knee. Pressing the left hip back as you draw the right hip forward. So you want the hips squared. Our left hip is gonna have a tendency to be in front of the right. See if you can press that left hip back a little bit. And then starting to put the weight in the left foot as we begin to make our way into our supported warrior 3. The weight starts to come into the left foot as we lift the right foot up off the mat. You can start by just lifting it up a little bit. Maybe it comes all the way parallel to the ground. And then playing around with lifting one hand, maybe both hands. Or just work on standing on one foot. That's enough of a balance. So see what feels better for you. See what's enough of a challenge this evening. And then go ahead and find that forward fold. On the next inhale, lift it all the way up, reach the arms overhead. And exhale, hands come to the sides of the body, Tadasana. Good. Okay, let's stand so that your feet are about max width distance apart, so a little wider than hips. You can take a nice wide stance. Take a breath in as you reach your arms up. As you exhale, fold it forward. You're gonna bend your knees as much as you need here. Maybe I'll stand this way so you can see. Take your peace fingers and start to wrap them around your big toes. So you're gonna take a breath in, lengthen through the back of the body, and then as you exhale, use that grip on your toes to kind of draw the upper body down a little bit more. Knees can be as bent as they like. I like to bend my knees here. I think it feels good. And then you can kind of rock the hips side to side or stay still. See what feels better for you. Bending the elbows towards the back of the room or the back of the mat. Think about drawing the top of the head down towards your mat. And then go ahead and release that grip with the toes. We're gonna take the left fingertips, place them in front of your left toes, put a little bend in the left knee, and as you inhale, the right arm is gonna peel up. So we're twisting here, looking towards that right hand. And then slowly bringing the right hand down to the mat, put a little bend in the right knee. As you inhale, peel the left arm up. Take your gaze towards that left hand. And then again, slowly bringing the left hand back down to the mat. As you inhale, lift it all the way back up, reach the arms overhead. As you exhale, your hands can come to the sides of your body. We're gonna bring our feet back together so your big toes can be together or slightly apart. Take a breath in, lift the arms overhead. As you exhale, we're gonna sit back into our chair pose. So your weight is in your heels. The toes could be wiggling really. Relaxing the shoulders, sit back like you're sitting in a chair. Lengthening through the spine, good. Then we're gonna bring our hands to heart center. And we're gonna twist to the right side. So you're gonna take your left elbow and hook it onto the outside of the right knee. Or you're working in that direction. Think about bringing the hands right to the center of the chest. So you're using that connection with the elbow on the knee to kind of create a little deeper twist than you could get otherwise. Looking up towards that right elbow. Good. On the next inhale, we're gonna unravel it, straighten the legs, reach the arms up overhead. You're gonna take your left foot, bring it behind your right foot. We're crossing our legs. So kind of like you're bringing your pinky toes together. And then as you exhale, you're gonna fold over those crossed legs. And just see how that feels. It should feel a little more intense. You probably can't fold as far forward. So just take a couple breaths there. You might feel it on the outer edges of the legs or the hips a little bit. And then on the next inhale, slowly starting to lift it all the way up. You can reach the arms overhead, unravel the feet so that the big toes are back together. And then as you exhale, sit back into that chair again. Press the hips back, lengthen through the spine, weight is in the heels. You relax the shoulders. See if you can sit down a little further. And then bring your hands to heart center, and we'll take it over to the left side this time. So the right elbow is coming to the outer edge of the left knee. see if you can keep your knees squared. So the right knee is probably trying to go in front of the left. Try to draw that right knee back so that they're square. Again, bring the hands to the center of the chest, or you're working the hands towards the center of the chest as you look at that left elbow. And then on the next inhale, slowly start to unravel, reach the arms up, straighten out through the legs. The right foot is gonna come behind the left this time, crossing the feet one more time. Bring the baby toes together. As you exhale, fold. Taking about 2 or 3 more breaths here. And then on the next inhale, slowly lifting it all the way up, unravel the feet, reach the arms overhead. Come back to the top of the mat if you're not there already. I kind of worked my way away from the top of the mat. And then as you exhale, fold it forward. Inhale to prepare, so taking that halfway lift as you breathe in. As you exhale, step back to your downward facing dog. On the next inhale, we're gonna lift the right leg again, 3-legged dog, point the toes towards the back of the room. As you inhale, you're gonna draw the right knee towards the nose, but hold it here for a second. And then as you exhale, 3-legged dog again. We're gonna do that 2 more times. So inhale, draw the knee towards the nose. Exhale, send it back. One last time, as you inhale, draw the knee to the nose. This time, go ahead and place that right foot down on the mat in between your hands. Again, if you need to use your hand to kind of adjust, go ahead and do that. Left hand is gonna stay where it is. As you exhale, the right arm is gonna peel up towards the sky. Take your gaze up towards that right hand. Good. And go ahead and bring your right hand back down to the mat. We're gonna start to walk the hands over to the left side of the body, coming to the side of your mat in a wide-legged fold. So walking the hands over to the left until you're facing the side of the mat. And then just move however it feels good for you. You can bend one leg at a time. You can walk your hands over to one leg and then the other leg. And just breathing here as you kind of let gravity draw you down. And then slowly starting to walk your hands back to frame out that left foot. Spin to the ball of the back foot. As you step the left foot back to meet the right to your downward facing dog. And then on the next inhale, let's lift that left leg, point the toes towards the back of the room. As you exhale, draw your left knee to your nose. Exhale, send it, or inhale, send it back, sorry. Exhale, draw, no, that was right. Inhale, draw the knee to the nose. Exhale, send it back. One more time, inhale, draw that knee to the nose. Exhale, send it back. This time we'll draw the knee to the nose, hold for a moment, and then step that left foot in between the hands. Right hand is gonna stay down. As you exhale, lift that left arm up towards the sky, roll the left shoulder back. Imagine there's a string tied to your sternum, right at the center of your chest, and it's pulling you up. Think about opening up through the heart, through the chest. And then go ahead and bring that left hand back down to the mat. This time you're gonna start to walk your hands over to the right side. Same thing, coming to that wide-legged fold, facing the right side of your mat this time. So one more time here. If it feels good to keep moving, you can do that. Or maybe you just come into stillness. Working on drawing the top of the head towards the mat, or maybe walking your hands really far away from you, lengthening through the spine. And then slowly starting to walk your hands back to frame out that left foot. Spin so that you're facing the top of your mat. Step the left foot back to meet the right. And then we're all gonna come back down onto our knees and then eventually finding a seated position. So Lowering yourself all the way down onto your mat, extending your legs long in front of you. Kind of rock side to side as you settle in here. Flex through the bottoms of the feet. As you inhale, reach the arms up overhead. As you exhale, fold over the legs. Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. You can bend the knees if that feels good. Hands can come to the shins or the bottoms of the feet as you draw the upper body towards the legs. Think about lengthening through the back each time you inhale, folding a little deeper each time you exhale. And the next inhale, slowly starting to lift it all the way up. We're gonna find an inclined plane or a reversed plank. So let me go sideways. So you're gonna bring your hands behind you. On the next inhale, you're gonna start to press the hips up towards the sky. Point your toes down towards the mat. So you're kind of in a reverse plank here. You're pressing the hips up. If this feels really, really challenging, you can also bend the knees and do the same thing. So you can press the hips up almost like a opposite of tabletop or reverse tabletop. So either reverse tabletop or reverse plank, whichever feels more accessible. Hold for 2 more breaths, trying to press those hips up just a little bit higher. And then slowly with control, you can bring the hips back down to the mat, bend your knees, and then just kind of fold over your legs. So you're bringing your stomach to your thighs, your head can come to your knees, you're sort of just folding in half a little bit. Give yourself a little hug. And then as you come back up to a seated position, extend your legs long, slide so that your feet are right at the top of your mat. Extend your legs or your arms long, using that core strength, 1 vertebrae at a time. You're gonna start to peel yourself all the way down onto your mat until you come all the way down, reach the arms overhead. Take a deep breath in, exhale, let it go. Good. And then we're gonna start to find our bridge pose. So you're gonna bend your knees, bring your feet to the base of your spine. Hands can come to the sides of the body. And then as you inhale, go ahead and lift the hips up, starting to press the hips up towards the ceiling. You can slide the shoulders under you a little bit and then interlace your hands under the tailbone, or you can continue to press your hands into the mat, whichever feels more comfortable for you. Wherever you are, work on pressing those hips up, bending through the back of the body. And we're gonna hold for about 3 more breaths. So tucking the chin into the chest, press the hips up. And then slowly, 1 vertebrae at a time, you're gonna peel the spine back down onto the mat. Once your tailbone touches, you can let your knees rock from side to side, kind of twisting out that spine a little bit. And then we're gonna take the right foot, place it on the left knee. Press that right leg away from you a little bit, so you kind of take your hands to the shin and just sort of press that leg away from you. You should feel a nice little opening in that right hip. And then we're gonna lift the left leg up off the mat, interlace your hands behind the left thigh, draw the left leg towards you, flex through both feet, and you should feel a nice opening in the right hip. So option to rock from side to side if that feels good. Optioning to bend and straighten the left knee. Maybe you gently press that right knee away from you with your hand. Or maybe you just stay still. So really doing what feels good for you here. But we want to work on opening up through that hip a little bit. So usually we do our pigeon on our stomach. This is just another way of doing it on our backs. And then gently placing that left foot down on the mat. You can bring the right foot down to the mat and we'll switch sides. Bring the left foot to the right knee. Take your hands to that shin and kind of press the left leg away from you a little bit. Just creating a little more opening in that left hip, a little more space to work with. And then when you're ready, the right foot is going to lift off the mat. Interlace your hands behind the right leg as you flex through the feet. Same options as you had on the other side. You can rock from side to side. You can bend and straighten that right leg. And gently press the left knee away from you, or just stay still, breathing into that space. And then slowly bringing the left foot back down onto the mat. The right foot can come down onto the mat, and then we'll find our inversion. So you can slide over to the wall if you have a wall and you want to extend your legs up the wall. If you'd rather a little more active variation, you're going to put your hands under your hips or maybe a pillow under your hips and just start to reach your feet up towards the ceiling. Kind of like your legs are against the wall without a wall. Flexing through the bottoms of your feet. We're going to hold here for about 5 to 10 breaths. So trying to slow that breath down, maybe even coming back to that 4 count breath. Inhaling for 4 and then exhaling for 4. If you want a little more challenging option, or a lot more challenging, you can play around the shoulder stand by lifting the hips up and then walking the hands down the back as you lift the back of the body up. But that's totally up to you. See what makes the most sense for you. Either way, we're getting our feet above our heads, above our hearts, allowing that blood to kind of move through the body a little bit and creating a nice calm feeling. About 3 more breaths. Slowly starting to draw the knees back down towards the body, extending the legs long on your mat. We're going to come into our fish pose. So the arms are coming to the sides of the body, the forearms are pressing into the mat. As you inhale, lift the chest, lift the heart. As you exhale, release the head back. You're puffing up the chest, taking your gaze behind you. And then slowly lowering yourself all the way back down onto your mat. Let's draw our knees back in towards us, wrapping our arms around your shins. Give yourself a little hug. You can kind of rock it out side to side a little bit. Maybe lift your head up towards your knees. And slowly place the head back down onto the mat. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together in the air. Usually I do this with your feet on the mat. So you're going to bring your hands either behind your feet, the soles of the feet are together, or on your shins if that feels more comfortable. It's kind of like you're in a butterfly, except that your feet are in the air. So you're drawing the feet towards you, pressing the knees away from you. If it feels good, you can rock side to side, or maybe play around with kind of straightening one leg at a time, or maybe you stay still in this butterfly. About 2 more breaths. And then slowly beginning to bring the feet to the mat, keeping the connection of the bottoms of the feet together. So the feet are still together, but now you're bringing the feet down onto the mat. Your hands can come onto your stomach or onto your inner thighs. Just kind of allowing the muscles in the legs to relax. So not forcing anything, just kind of letting the legs soften a little bit. You can bring the hands to the tops of the thighs and kind of press them away from you if that feels good. Kind of creating a little length in the back of the body. And then just gently pressing the knees back together. Draw the knees in towards you one more time, lifting the legs up off the mat. Bring your arms into a T shape, so extending your arms out to either side. And then let the knees release over to the right side. Very casual, wherever they land is fine. The shoulders are on the mat. And then take your gaze to the left, so you're looking away from the knees. Starting to let the eyes close. Starting to let the breath return to its normal rhythm. And slowly drawing the knees back through center. And we'll take it over to the other side. So the knees come to the left. The gaze comes to the right. Again, softening through the shoulders. Letting the eyes float closed. You start to just let go, kind of surrendering into the shape a little bit. And then on the next inhale, drawing the knees back through center. And then go ahead and extend the legs long on the mat as you start to make your way into your Shavasana. So just like you did at the beginning, take your time as you set yourself up here. So making any kind of adjustments you need so that you can feel really comfortable here on your mat. Maybe that means grabbing a sweatshirt or socks or a blanket, sip of water. Maybe that means doing one final stretch if there's a muscle that still feels like it needs to twist or bend. Go ahead and do whatever you need now. And then start to settle into that Shavasana. And that can look however you want it to look. Could be legs long, knees bent, side of your body. You could come to a seated position if you like to end in a seat, whatever feels good for you. So taking your time now at the end of your practice to do that little scan again. Starting to notice how you feel. Allowing the breath to become a little deeper. Allowing the eyes to float closed if they weren't already. Letting the body become really heavy as you completely let go. Completely surrendering into your mat. Taking up as much space as you need. Maybe extending your arms long, extending your legs wide. And just settling here into your Shavasana. Taking a couple moments here before I wake you back up. Slowly starting to deepen your breath. Gently starting to bring your awareness back to the body. As you move your fingers and your toes, your ankles and your wrists. Stretching in any way that feels good, maybe reaching the arms overhead or bending the knees in towards you. If it feels comfortable, you can turn over onto one side with the knees bent, resting your head on your arm, coming into a fetal position, or staying right where you are if that feels better. Taking these last few moments here on your mat, express a little gratitude towards yourself, saying thank you, pressing pause in the middle of your day, taking this hour to come to your mat and do something that's so good for you. Say thanks. Whenever you're ready, you can slowly start to make your way back up to a seated position, gently pressing yourself up with your hands, keeping the eyes closed as you bring your hands to heart center. I'm so grateful to still be able to meet with you all and see you all here virtually. So grateful for the light and the energy that you all bring with you. I hope you have the most beautiful evening and a great week until I see you again. Namaste. Thank you guys.